When God starts exposing a covert narcissist in your life, it does not happen softly or neatly. It happens with blows so loud that your soul can no longer deny them. And the scary part is, you think you're going crazy when it begins. Because everything they conditioned you to believe about them starts breaking in front of your eyes. The image you worshipped starts crumbling. And this is where a lot of survivors freeze. They think it's their fault somehow. They think they're seeing something wrong. They think they are judging that person too harshly, and they try to return to the old image of the narcissist only to be broken further and deeper. But what if I told you that this destruction of their false image, it's not a mistake. It's not you being cruel or ungrateful. It's God shaking you awake, saying, look, see this now, because otherwise you will stay trapped in that web forever. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic is 5 big signs God is exposing that covert narcissist to you. I will share these signs from my own life. I will talk about my own mother, who was a covert narcissist. You already know that. And I will show you exactly how God broke the illusion for me piece by piece. So stay until the very end, because these signs are my personal experiences. Let's begin with number 1. God exposes a major betrayal of the covert narcissist. For years, my mother conditioned me to believe that she was the best mother anyone could ask for. She would tell me with pride how she had sacrificed her entire life for us, how I was her life, how no mother in this world could match her love. And as a child, I worshipped that image. I carried it in my heart like gold. I used to think I had the best mother alive. Then one day, God dropped the first hammer. I found out that the first 7 or 8 years of my life, the years when a child is supposed to bond with their mother, never even saw her. I had been dumped with her mother to be raised. I had never drunk her milk. I had never been fed by her. I had never had her presence in the way I should have had. My earliest years were spent technically motherless. I was passed on to my aunt, who was only 15 or 16 herself, to be raised. My mother would occasionally visit and throw money at her and leave again. And I remember how much anxiety I used to feel as a child, always longing for her, always craving her presence, always fearing she would not return. That was the deep separation anxiety that lived in me. And when I finally forced myself back into her life by crying and starving myself to the point that I had to be brought back, the trauma was already done. And then began the new trauma. I had already learned that I was not safe with my mother. But in my head, I still believed her. I believed she had sacrificed everything for me until God showed me the truth, and I could no longer ignore it. This betrayal was not small. It shook my identity to its core. It forced me to question everything I believed about loyalty, love, and family. And that questioning was the first step toward freedom. Sign number 2. God unmasks them in real time in front of you. Narcissists are masters of illusion, aren't they? They can wear a mask of sainthood so convincingly that even your gut doubts itself. For years, I thought my mother was a saint, the cleanest, the purest, the most virtuous person alive. She would never speak of anything remotely improper. She always acted holier than thou until one day I found out about her affair. I found out that beneath that saint mask there was a double life. And I cannot tell you how shocking that moment was for me. The kind of woman who acted as if no speck of dirt had ever touched her was indulging in something I could never ever imagine from her, and I cannot talk about it. This is when God pulls the curtain down and lets you see what is behind it. It is not random, it's not accidental, it's divine timing, because you are ready to see now. And I will tell you this: the betrayal of loyalty with covert narcissists is far more dangerous than with overt ones. Overt narcissists leave clues, don't they? You can sense them. Covert ones convince you they are loyal while they commit the most disloyal acts behind your back. When this exposure happens, your entire nervous system reacts. You may shake, you may feel sick, you may feel like you're losing your mind. But no, you're not. You're waking up. That's why when you find out, it shakes your soul, and it's meant to, so that you can stop worshipping their false image. Sign number three, you start intuitively feeling the fakeness of their victimhood. Let me know in the comments if you have felt that. One of the biggest weapons of a covert narcissist is their fake victimhood, right? They build an entire personality around being the poor, misunderstood, mistreated victim. And I used to fall for it completely. Whenever my mother cried, I was the first one to rush to her feet, to comfort her, apologize, even when I had done nothing wrong. She had created this idea of herself in my mind as the sacrificing, saint like mother who deserved endless gratitude. But as I started learning about narcissism, something strange began to happen. I started seeing two mothers at the time. The mother she wanted me to see, a pure, giving, loving martyr, and the actual mother I was now beginning to notice, passive aggressive, manipulative, condescending, vindictive, emotionally absent, always making me parent her. And then one day I noticed something that changed everything for me. I looked at her face and she was crying. And for the first time, I'm telling you, I saw the act. I saw how she pulled a face, how she used a baby voice to trigger my inner child, how there was no real emotion behind those tears, only performance. And that is when my heart disconnected from that act. That was intuition speaking, and that is when that intuition starts speaking this loudly. It is another sign that God is exposing the narcissist to you. You're seeing through the veil, and it is terrifying at first, I know, because part of you still wants to believe the lie. But once the veil lifts, you cannot go back, and you should not. Number four, a truth teller appears in your life. Another strange thing that happens when God starts exposing a covert narcissist. He brings someone into your life who speaks the truth. It could be a partner, a friend, a mentor, basically anyone. But they become a mirror you cannot ignore. No, in my case, it was my business partner, a very close friend. This person had also been targeted by my mother. She was jealous of him. She tried to isolate me from him because somewhere deep inside she knew he was a threat to her control over me. He was someone who called a spade, who would openly speak about the narcissistic behaviors he noticed because he is a truth teller. Slowly, through conversations with him, the image of my mother began to crack even further, even when I didn't want to. I started seeing her through new eyes. I started understanding the games that were being played. I started realizing how much of my life had been built on illusion. And I will tell you this with a heavy heart, narcissists will do everything in their power to isolate you from such a person, because this person is the bridge to your freedom. God brings them in when you're ready to break free. Do not ignore them. Do not push them away. Do not justify abuse. They're there for a reason. They may feel uncomfortable to listen to at first, but they are speaking truths you have buried. But lean in. The truth will set you free, as they say. Sign number five, they are triggered into violent, unexpected rage. One of the final and most shocking signs that God is exposing the covert narcissist is when their mask fully slips and the rage comes out. And let me tell you, covert narcissistic rage is more terrifying than overt narcissist rage when it comes out. Why? Because you never expect it. They spend years building an image of being soft, caring, smothering, and loving. So when they explode, it's demonic, literally, it's animalistic. It shocks every cell in your body. This happened to me during the final phase of my no contact journey with my mother. She was love bombing me again, same old games. She was pushing demands, barking orders, guilt tripping me, pulling faces, gaslighting me. You know how it is. Nothing was working though. I was no longer responding the way she wanted me to. I was not giving in, I was holding my ground. And that is when she lost it. She screamed, cursed, raged like a mad woman. The mother I thought I knew disappeared, and a terrifying, violent version of her came out. And in that moment, something inside me died because I realized that the mother I had been made to believe in never existed. That was a fiction, and the real person had now revealed herself. And once you see that, you cannot unsee it. And that is God's way of burning the last remnant of illusion inside you. It is painful, indeed, it is shattering, but it is necessary for your freedom. And that rage is often the last sign. It is their soul reacting to the loss of control over you, not your loss. It is their last desperate attempt to pull you back into the web. Do not fall for it. Please stand firm. If you're seeing these signs in your life, please know this is not your imagination. It is God exposing the covert narcissist to you. It is time to see. It is time to awaken. It is time to choose yourself and walk away. And once you see the truth, you can never go back to the lie, can you? If this episode resonated with you, share it with others in your story. And remember, the exposure is painful, but it's also your liberation. You are chosen to break the cycle, chosen to walk away, and in truth, chosen to be free. Let that be your closure. And if you want to explore healing with me further, join my upcoming chapter of the free workshop happening on June 9th. The topic is Thriving After Narcissistic Abuse. Thousands of people joined and more are joining. Don't miss this opportunity because I do it only once a year. Link is in the description. I will talk to you again. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.